Konferansımızın ilk oturumuyla başlıyoruz. Bu bölümde Dünyanın Önde Gelen Giyim Üreticilerinden Epik grubun Güçlü ve Sürdürülebilir Büyüme Vizyonunu konuşarak başlayacağız. Moderatörümüz Uluslararası Giyim Federasyonu İAF Genel Sekreteri Matthias Kriete, konuğu da Epik Grup kurucusu ve yönetim kurulu başkanı Ranjan Mahtani. Kıymetli alkışlarınızla her ikisini de sahneye davet ediyorum. Buyurun efendim.
Good morning, everybody, and it is my true pleasure and honor to receive Mr. Ranju Mahtani, the Executive Chairman of the Epic Group, a very large manufacturing group from Hong Kong, here to this wonderful conference in Istanbul. And I'm really glad, and I think we all are, that he's able to share some insights about creating strong and sustainable growth as a garment manufacturer. It's really important, and we heard also in the speeches before, that on conferences like this we focus on the competitiveness of manufacturing and that we're able to learn to each other. So Mr. Mahtani, it's my pleasure to give the word to you. Would you please set us off a bit and tell us a little bit about the Epic Group and your connection with Turkey?
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me here. You know, actually, when Sam called me and asked me to participate in this event, I jumped at it because I love Turkey. I love the Turkish food. I just celebrated my 60th birthday in Bodrum. I had a ball for time. So I said, I can't miss this opportunity. But you must be wondering what an Indian Chinese, because I'm Indian by birth, Chinese by passport, who is sitting here and knowing nothing about Turkey. So I'm going to tell you about what we do in our part of the world, and I hope it's helpful to the Turkish industry. We have factories, you know, we were pioneers in Bangladesh. We started there in 1984-85. We employ about 30,000 people there. We have a factory in Jordan. We have a factory in Vietnam. And we're building a 1.5 million square feet facility in India. So that's pretty much Epic Group. We're only 20 years old, even though I started work at the age of 15 as an apprentice. So I have worked for 45 years. But the company is 20 years old. We are spreading our wings. We're in here in Turkey today, not only for this convention, but to also look at possible joint ventures and M&As, which we find very interesting.
That's great. That's great to hear, and also that the connection to Turkey is live and happening, as you're saying. So I want to switch to the global view, and you are truly a global manufacturer. You have a good view of the positioning of different export countries, and you can see on the slide over there that we already have a view of the export figures of different countries. So can you give us your view on developments?
Walk up there if you don't mind.
Yeah, definitely.
So we just took out some recent data. This is Turkey export from January to July. To USA. As you can see, it doesn't figure in the top 10 list. I'm not exactly sure where it figures. But when it comes to EU, we are in the 6-7 top exporters from Turkey. So the reason why I put this data together is because it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to grow that business, be it with America or with Europe. And you know, I've lived in Hong Kong and I've seen offices industries changing into offices, into mega buildings. I've seen it in Taiwan, I've seen it in Korea, seen it in Singapore. And with the cost of inflation, the cost of living, every country has to adjust itself for the future. And I think the apparel sector is a very, very important sector. So really one of my colleagues told me that I can teach you how to work, but I can't change your attitude. The reason why I say that is because it's about mindset. Attitude is about mindset. If the mindset is right, if the mindset is looking forward, I think there are tremendous opportunities within all the external challenges we have. We know that USA imposed a 15-20% tariff on China. Now when we hear CNN, I won't take names, but somebody says that I'm going to put a 20% tariff on the rest of the world. It's spoken on television every day. If they did put a 20% tariff on the rest of the world, what would it do to our industry? What would happen to the duty-free countries? They would probably be better off. But what about a country like India? What about a country like Bangladesh? What about a country like Vietnam? Can we sustain 20%? Is the customer going to expect us to pay the 20%? Because in my 45 years of experience, I have not seen the customer raise the retail price unless you're a luxury brand, unless you're a Louis Vuitton, you're a Nike, you're a Chanel. The mass trade does not permit retail price to increase. And if they do, they're going to bring more inflation to themselves, which is already very high. So as an industry, we have to be well prepared to deal with a lot of external elements.
Great. Thanks. Thanks, Ranju, for that insight. I want to switch to sustainability also. It's obviously very important in this conference. It's important in legislation. It's important in BIOS requirements. And it's important in EPIC Group as well. Can you share with us what EPIC Group has been doing recently?
Sure. We have that simple chart there, so if I can go there, if you don't mind. But we have a simple roadmap from now till 2030 with the intention of completing it by December 2028, 2 years ahead. It clearly tells you Higgs, it tells you what we're doing, reduction of total greenhouse gas emission, fresh water, risky chemicals, and where we are today and where do we want to be in 2030. Because we are of the firm belief that come 2026, come 2028, if you are not sustainable, you will not be able to be in a vendor matrix. Whether you're in Europe, whether you're in America, if you're not in the pinnacle of sustainability, I think it's going to be an elimination factor. I'd just like to share with you a few things that we're doing on sustainability. Solar power, for example, our new Indian factory has nearly 5.8 megawatts of solar energy. We also intend to supply the solar energy to a couple of villages nearby as part of our CSR activities. We have successfully changed all our effluent treatment plants to the membrane therapy, where the water actually is clear and transparent. It's distilled water. I won't encourage you to drink it, but it's 100% transparent. All our washing machines, whether it's with Tonello, whether it's Genealogia, even with some Turkish companies, we are bringing in the latest washing machines where we can recycle the water every 15 to 30 days with a drastic reduction in consumption of water. Small things like stationery may be very small, but we are focusing on every small angle. And, we talk about ESG. So there's the environmental side, but then there's the people side. How we treat our people, what extra do we do for our people? We recently sent 5 students to the Asian University of Chittagong, which is quite famous in the world. We only spent 100,000 US on each student, to be quite honest. Today, 5 of those students are in our top executives in the company. So our investment paid back, and really, as part of women's empowerment, we have to do a lot more to, especially in our part of the world, where it's more male-dominated, we have to work very, very hard to create women's empowerment. So obviously, electrical system optimizations, replacing diesel boilers with biomass, energy efficiency fans, and I can keep boring you, but that is what really counts. And that is what we intend to do. We are on the road for it. And I would like to stress to all the gentlemen here that come 2028, I don't think there'll be a vendor left who will, if does not meet the sustainability requirements, will be able to supply to customers. It's becoming a big news. As you all know, there's a bill in the European Parliament from 2024. Along with this comes the traceability of textiles. So how do we get transparency on traceability of textiles? There's various formats of artificial intelligence being developed. In the meanwhile, a company like us has, nearly tested 200,000 garments with labs like Oritan, which is very expensive. We're talking to our customers so that we can roll it out in a massive manner at a more affordable cost. But all this sustainability, I just wanted to tell you, is a very, very broad word and very, very close to our heart.
Thank you. That's a great overview. Another topic I want to discuss, and also because you have been writing about it, or I've seen messages from you in articles, which is really about strategic partnerships, which is about the initiative by manufacturers to invest in services that before brands were doing in-house. Can you give some concrete examples of how Epic is providing basically solutions to customers' problems and adding value by that?
I think before I go to the solutions, I would really like to ask everybody here is, how difficult is it to get into a new customer today? 9 out of 10 times I get a reply, we've got enough vendors, we're not looking for new suppliers. So if you don't have strategic partnerships lasting 10, 15, 20 years with the customers, it's going to block you from getting in unless you've got some sensational product at a sensational price. But today, what I'm trying to say is the market has consolidated, and it will consolidate at a much, much brisker pace. With what's happened in Bangladesh now, a lot of businesses moved to Vietnam, a lot of businesses moved to Cambodia, moved to India. Today, global sourcing is going to look at it as an even basket. You know what I mean? And I think there will be more consolidation. In a place like Bangladesh, we have factories A grade, B grade, C grade, D grade, E grade, F grade. So how do you choose? Who do you want to work with, right? So those are the kind of countries where they are going to have to really evolve themselves and qualify in various factors, just being a factory, having the greatest automation, having phenomenal industry is not enough. We feel we've been providing for the last 20 years. We have a whole set of designers in London, in New York, in Amsterdam. They go to the ramp. They don't go to the original Pret-a-Porter and those kind of conventional shows. They go to the ramp. Our job is to look at the ramp, adjust the product into the customer's price point and present it to them, and then have it on their shelves within 90 to 120 days. So the gap between the ramp and the gap between the mass has reduced significantly. Already you see that if you look at quality today, right? The quality, if you go at the top, and I'm not talking about Louis Vuitton and all, but I'm saying if you went from the top to the bottom, with the exception of Uniqlo. Quality is quite consistent. So you're buying a flannel shirt, you're paying $10 somewhere, you're paying $15 somewhere, you're paying $20 somewhere, but you're buying the same product. So I think this is all food for thought, where, how do we take, and what Matthias was asking me, what is white space? So our customers tell us, what is the white space in our store? What are we missing? Scour every store, go to the ramp and tell us what we're missing, and bring it to us fast and bring it to us at a price point. So I think that's a very important part of, evolving our business. Clothing has changed, fashion has changed. COVID changed fashion. Today, I think we are here in suits because we are in a formal convention, but I will be wearing my polyester pants, which I can wear on a flight. I can work in the afternoon, take the same planes, go to a bar, have dinner, and then take the same, hopefully another pant, and get on a flight. The T-shirts have become more polyester, they've become more elastane. Everything is about performance, everything is about what we call roam everywhere. And I think that has become a lifestyle, right? Where it's not only yoga wear, it's not only athleisure, it's a lifestyle. So we have to create clothing into a lifestyle and not just be too focused on, for example, yoga wear. Yoga wear was hot, but how much yoga wear are you going to make? So you have to look at the evolving fashion and really adjust yourself,
Yeah, so really what you're also saying is that one of those services that you provide to your clients is actually to help them make more money by figuring out what product they need on their shelves, right? And then being able to make it very quickly, so that it comes in at the right time for the consumers to buy. That actually brings us also to the topic of technology, right? So we're sort of unpacking the important topics, and technology probably brings you the opportunity to reduce costs, but also to add more value to your products. Can you give us some example from Epic how you use technology?
First of all, I think we are on the tip of technology. We haven't really made any progress. If you call 3D fittings, we've been talking about it for 15 years, it's happening. But that's not technology. We should have gone far ahead, right? Artificial intelligence, obviously, over the next 2 to 3 to 4 years is going to change everything that we do. How we do our quality control, are we going to have the AI cameras there so that we get more precise information? So I think technology, there's a lot to be done. Automation is very important. I just saw 2 machines sitting outside, and you have to go into that kind of automation without making people lose jobs, at least in the countries that we are in, and use that towards expansion. You know what I mean? But the fact of the matter is today our customers' biggest problem is inventory control. How do we as a vendor, as a supplier, right, bring inventory control? Today we as a company have opened 2 warehouses in America, set up large banking facilities in America, because they pay you in 60 days, 90 days, so that we have the facilities to draw the monies against it. We are now connected to the, I would call it link or web link of 3 of our customers, where we submit them a report every Monday. What's sold by style, by SKU, by size. Along with that, we send them a recommendation of what we think they should push from the DC, from the warehouse to the stores. We also build a ladder for those items, So the moment the sales are bad, we reduce the ladder. The moment the sales are good, we increase the ladder. It has to happen from our side, and it has to be a report submitted on Monday. So I think there's a lot more to be done as a factory. Really, you know, the customer has a huge overhead. Some of them are hurting, right? So they want to cut their overhead. They want to transfer design to us. They want to transfer inventory to us. They want us to do the whole package, where it's going to reach a point where this is my shelf, take my shelf, and give me X, Y, Z margin. I think the world is heading in that direction.
Great. Yeah, I think you're right. So much money is lost on inventory or lost sales or markdowns that is really where space is. You are located in Hong Kong. Your headquarters, at least, are located in Hong Kong. That's a city that's known for its high-quality garment tech research, right? And we were talking before, and you told me a little bit about some work you're doing with Edwin Kay of the HK Rita on, I think, on recycling. Can you tell us a little bit about that? And I think we have a slide for that as well.
Yes, actually, HKRITA had a formal opening of their lab. I've seen this lab under construction for the last 3 years. It's quite phenomenal. It's not something that you can mass level, but today you can put any garment in, and you're going to get a powder, right, which can be go into agriculture. It's already happening in India with a company, and the polyester comes out as good as ready as yarn.
Wow.
So I think if they mass scale that, and I know that there are a few machines in Sweden and all on a small level, but if we can mass ramp that machine, I think it will be the epitome of circular economy.
That's interesting. And also, I think really here and with this audience where Turkey is also a leader in circular textiles, those collaborations are also very fascinating. I think I'm looking at the clock, and we're reaching about the 20 minutes. Time is flying. So I'm going to ask you the final question. Is there one topic you feel you would really like to address that we haven't touched with?
I would like to say to all my friends in Turkey that, you know, with the inflation, the labor cost, but what Turkey has is technology. They supply the better brands, right? They have tremendous technology. If Turkey went out and started forming strategic alliances with the right countries, because listen, at the end of the day, garments need sewing. Sewing is expensive, right? Or they could be, today I'll tell you, there's a Japanese mill opening in Bangladesh because they have the business there. You know what I mean? So I would, my final words would be, let Turkey go out into the world, because Turkey has tremendous ability to collaborate, to find new methods of expanding their business, using, you know, in the old days, I'll tell you, I'm not informed anymore, but if we made a pair of denim jeans in Bangladesh, and then I send them to China for washing, it got a China origin, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you make the denim jeans here and you ship it to me in Bangladesh and I wash them, do I get a Bangladesh origin? Or should I ship it to Jordan where I get 18% duty free? Or should I take a synthetic garment to Jordan, right? Do some finishing touches to it and get a 32% duty break, right? So I think my only last words would be, Turkey has got tremendous potential to use their automation, their technology. They have some fantastic factories doing Hugo Boss and the bigger brands, which is why they figure higher in the list with Europe. But there's a lot of opportunity out there for Turkey.
Thank you. Thank you, Ranju. That's a great way to end and sharing this call to the industry. You've made a huge growth in those 20 years. I'm actually surprised that you say Epic is 20 years. That's actually quite young. So I think we're very lucky that you have shared your insights with us. Thank you very much for that.
My pleasure. My pleasure.